Good evening. I'm Dan Fitzpatrick at stockmarketmentor.com, and it's Monday, February 8th, otherwise known as Monday, February 8th. Look, we're looking at cybersecurity stocks, and this is one of the big ones. I want you to hearken back to Apple, and right here we're talking about, and Netflix right here we're talking about. Now we'll go with Palo Alto again. Right here we're talking about. What I'm talking about is identifying tops. You're not going to see them right when they occur. You're not going to look at this and say, oh, that's the top. You know, you don't really know. You could say that you did, and that's fine, in which case you'd have been better off lying and say that you knew that this was the top. But instead, you just have to ultimately, however you're going to do this, and it's just a function of risk management, always having an opinion, but also knowing that there is a level, there is an event, there is some type of action that a stock can take that puts your opinion in doubt. If you can do that, somewhere along the line, you're going to see that this is topping. And seriously, even if you are really dogmatic about it, forget about the exact level here, but let's look at this level just because this and this are two lows where this hit. You're looking at this and you're saying, I am not going to declare that this is a top. I'm not going to declare that until and unless the stock breaks down below this floor here. Okay, so even here at 155, you're sitting here and you're saying, I'm not going to short this stock. I'm going to wait. And then finally, the stock does break through. Even give it to 150, whatever. So you short. You got a little, bugaboo here for a while. But then ultimately, the stock does what you think it's going to do. You're up over 20% on a short that you actually got in late on. That's the deal. So what are you going to do now? Okay, the way this stock is going, and members, I'm going through all the cybersecurity stuff, but we're also going through some of the defensive names, and I've got a lot to talk to you about on on basically how to be dealing with this market in a long-term portfolio, as well as how to be trading in a market that is decidedly different than it was this time last year. So definitely check that out. But for you guys that are just on this free video, which love you, I'm glad you're watching it. Here's the thing. After such a big sell-off in 2 days, I mean 20% in just a couple days, lower volume today than on Friday when everything was going straight to zero. This is kind of setting up for an oversold bounce. If nothing else, just an oversold bounce. The way I look at these stocks, I mean, this thing looks like it wants to go to 70 bucks or so. Not right away. I'm not saying that it will, though I'm not saying that it won't either. Frankly, on the S&P, listen up, strap yourselves in. I could make a case for 1,000 on the S&P. I'm not going to do it here, but I can make that case. And actually, I do in the strategy session. So longer term, this thing is down. There's so much pressure. All of these high flyers, all these expensive growth names are now just expensive. And they're desperately seeking value. This is not there yet. So if you're long this stock, don't sell it right now. Wait for a bounce. If you're short this stock, frankly, I would suggest covering because probably other people will, and then wait for the stock to rally. Now, this thing could just keep going below 110 and 100, and what I'm telling you now is decidedly wrong. But know this, as a stock moves lower, it does become more attractive to somebody because it's getting cheaper. So there's always an underlying bid to the market. The question is at what level? So here, I'm thinking we're going to get a little underlying bid here, going to get a little bit of a reversal tomorrow, and if we do, frankly, that's the time for you to be taking action and getting back into this on the short side. Right now, just too much downward momentum. Stocks do not just keep going down like this unless you're Enron or WorldCom. Okay, members, over to the strategy session. Oh, one other thing, members. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention this in the strategy session. I'm hosting what we're calling a cocktail party on Wednesday night in the forum. Show up. It's not going to be a webinar format. It's just going to be basically everybody talking, everybody asking questions, making comments, literally like a cocktail party. You can bring your own booze. You just don't get to share it with anybody. And that's at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific time. And I'll be mentioning this more tomorrow because I screwed up and didn't mention it in the market recap. So anyway, hope you show up.